Everything's good, I hope. Uh, for those of you who do it, don't stream Twitch and YouTube simultaneously because I think it kind of messes up things. So just got to keep pushing it. I don't know why. Maybe it's a freak. Anyways, we're back. So if you saw the first 3 minutes, great. We're gonna start over again. We are with DM Guru 2 on TikTok. He is actually in all the praises that I said before. I'm gonna say again. He's an incredible creator. He does a lot of DM tips for everybody, and you should definitely check him out. If you're not following him, where you at? Why
Yeah,
aren't you? Right?
I'm on TikTok, so that's DM_Guru 2. You can also find my stuff on the DMs Guild, Shadows Under a Mestral, and the 5th edition Reincarnated Ranger.
So why did you do the reincarnated ranger again? I don't understand.
Yeah, so I did that as sort of that was a project that was born out of my brother and I being sort of discontent with the 5th edition Ranger, just because the way it was set up was clearly very much the designers wanted a pillar of play to be exploration, but they kind of made the Ranger one of the only classes whose core mechanics directly dealt with that. And as a result, just by comparison to the other classes, it was far less focused on combat, which didn't bother us, necessarily. But due to its stark contrast, we felt like some middle ground could have been found. And with some of the changes made in Xanathars, we really wanted to make something that felt like a really cohesive inclusion into the 5th edition core stable of classes. So this was us just sort of taking our personal homebrew that we've sort of tested over a long period of time, primarily functioning around redesigning the Beastmaster class to be more satisfying and less frustrating for so long. And we're really happy with what we ended up making, and I think it sings really well. We've been playing. I've been running a Beastmaster Ranger that was sort of the proto version of this for like 4 years, and he's doing really well.
Great. And I did download I've downloaded both of them and I love both of them. I play
Thank you.
D&D occasionally, but of course, I'm focused on my
Yeah,
pet project. And I really do like what you did with the Ranger. I actually think what you added to it, in my opinion, makes the Ranger class a little bit more in line with everybody else.
yeah.
And I understand what they did and where they were trying to do these three tiers of play and stuff like that, and they just didn't go as far as they should have on the exploration.
Yeah, I think more classes could have used more exploration
Right,
driven stuff to make it more spread out, but sort of leaving it all in the Ranger just made it seem like it stood out in a negative way.
right. So we are here to actually create a new character for DM Guru 2, and hopefully we'll probably get everybody that I've created characters with, which is now numbering into the double digits.
Wow.
So it would be interesting to do like a weekend of where I just do like a West Marches like mini campaign where everybody just kind of
Yeah,
comes in and just we're all in this giant dungeon and they just kind of meld and see how that works. It would be interesting. We'd be upwards of 50 players
that would be
rolling in on
dope.
that stuff like that. Um,
Oh,
Sorry, no, I was talking to the other
yeah.
people in my family over here, and stuff like that. So we're gonna go and get started. Now, I know you haven't really taken a look at this, but do you have a character? The way we normally do things, the way I actually do this with characters, and since we are on a time crunch, we're gonna kind of speed through this, but it won't
Mhm.
take that long. Um, do you have a general archetype that you like to play besides Ranger?
Uh, Besides Ranger, typically I do like playing like action hero characters, so like paladins, rangers, and fighters. Um, I like being able to be competent in combat. I'm usually pretty afraid of doing spellcasters unless I know the spell, like the magic system, really well.
Right.
But I used to play a lot of rogues, and I'm kind of interested in reapproaching the rogue in a system that is so new. And I really like otters and
The
the
Balian, the
Balian. Yeah,
Balian.
the
You know,
Balian
and
seem really
we were
close.
we were talking last night with my two co-creators over here, and they're asking me about what kind of characters people playing, and I'm like predominantly they're going either Balian or Manix. It's weird.
Really.
It's like
If
this
it's
every
if there's a
it's
lot of Balians, then I'll play something else
no
because I
no
don't
no.
want
This is your character. You do what you want to do, but
to.
it's kind of cool. Where some people chose, I think CB chose. CB, did you go human or you went Balian? Didn't you?
Jin who?
Yeah, but you went
Jinho?
no, your species. You went Balian. I think he went Balian, and everybody, and it's a weird vibe. It's a cool kind of vibe. So we might have a group of Balians running around
That'd
doing
be
stuff.
cool.
As long as they're not a frontline fighters, that'd be great. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to get hit in this game. This game is deadly. All right. So we are going to go ahead and jump all over to the Balians. We're going to go to page 25.
Yes.
Hava 2.
Oh, you went with Hava 2. Okay, Hava 2. And a lot of people are actually playing small species, which is cool, but don't be a frontline fighter. You will get killed. You will get killed. Good. All right. So what do you want to do with this Balian?
I think I want to be like a stealth focused character.
Okay, so you definitely want to go the rogue route.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. All right, so what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to go to your character sheet. We're going to start with your first page.
Yep.
Go ahead and choose your species and pick the Balian. Their size are going to be small. Rank is going to be 1. And since you've decided that you want to play rogue, you can choose later, but we're going to go ahead and set the focus to stealth because that's really where you're going to be doing your stuff.
Cool.
And then before, I don't know who did that. That was an alert box.
That was me hosting you.
Great. Awesome. I don't know why it's all the way down there because it should be right there. All right. If you want to choose a name now, which would probably be easier and better so we don't have to come back, on page 25 at the top, under languages and names, we've given you some typical first names and some typical clan names. Now, what's interesting is some people will pick like their clan name, but then they end up going into the common translated words for Balian and choose a first name or
cool.
or a last name based off of their combination. So it's been interesting. So what do you want to do?
I like some of these typical first names. I like Urzel.
Urzel.
So on about Urzel Chocolate.
Chakla?
I like that. Urzel Chocolate.
Awesome. I like that. Now, if you have Adobe, you'll be able to just go ahead and then highlight those and copy and paste them in and over, and that actually makes things a lot easier. All right, so Urzel. All right, Urzel. Here we go. Let's build Urzel. All right, so on page 26, you're going to find another a large gray box. It's called Balian Features. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to start with basically starting at languages and move all the way down through like technophile. And these are going to go into a specific spot. So what I normally do is I will go ahead and I will copy the languages I speak. And then I will go over to the second page of the character sheet where there's a box that says species, features, and traits. And I normally just pop that in there, and that's easy to do. So those are all the languages that you begin speaking with. Rastiki, Habatu, and Common. And Common is a human. It's predominantly used by man and men, but it's a... If you've ever played Star Wars or heard of Star Wars and looked at Star Wars, they have like what's called basic language.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is. Everybody speaks it
Cool.
for the most part. So resistances, you don't start with any additional modifiers, but your bonuses, looks like you get a plus 20 to your alertness, a plus 5 to your initiative, and plus 10 to your fatigue. And that, if you want to copy that, you totally can. And we'll put that in our species, features, and traits.
Yes.
Third line.
So plus 20. And plus 10 fatigue.
And so we don't have to deal with it later. What we're going to do is go to our first page, and in our fatigue points, we're just going to put a plus 10 there.
And where?
In fatigue points. I hate being sick.
Here we go. Bless you.
Thank you. In your alertness, we're going to put a plus 20. Now, those are skills, and those are they're alphabetical.
Yes.
And then your initiative, up at the top, it says, at the very, very top, it has everything kind of done. And you have a miscellaneous modifier. So we're just going to put a plus 5 in there for right now. And it'll add in as we go through. And that is that. So enhanced evasion. Again, I just grabbed this whole thing for me,
Mhm.
and I take it over and I plop it in to the species and features and just do my own what am I thinking? My own like Cliff Notes version of this stuff.
Yeah.
So a +5 per every 2 ranks to physical defense, and for me we use PD as our physical defense and stuff.
Hmm.
Claws, I gain a +10 to all climb attempts, and it has a base damage of 1. So you could actually use your own claws if you don't have a weapon, and it does a base damage of 10
That's
or plus
dope.
1. And the reason why it's a base of 1 is because we basically we have a roll under system and count successes. So the more successes you do, the more damage you'll ultimately end up doing, right?
Hmm.
And then I will also then take between the lines. Basically, there is like if you ever get caught someplace where it's like really tight and normal people wouldn't be able to do it because of the body features of Balian, which are essentially ferret folk. If you've never
Yes.
had a ferret, you don't know what you're missing because they can get into some of the weirdest, smallest spots you have ever seen.
Yeah.
However, you are a technophobe, meaning that anytime that you come across or use technology, there's a 25% chance of failure
That makes sense.
using tech. And the reason why is because the Balian themselves are more attuned to the lands and things like that around them.
Hmm.
All right, we are almost done with just this particular portion. Now, every character in Legend of Kralis, when they begin at first rank, have a total of 5 abilities. These are pseudo magical like abilities that are just part of who you are. They're not. They're based off your species and not some forever reason. It's not like a community based thing. It's who you are
Hmm.
inside. And so you gain 2 from species, 2 from your focus, and then you get to choose your final one. So choose 2 of these and figure out which ones you want to do.
All right. Sorry, I'm just opening up. Okay, now Adobe Acrobat is working. So, which page? This is page 26, you said?
Page 26, yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. So I get to pick one of these
No,
natural magics, or
you get to choose 2 of these special abilities that are listed under special abilities.
oh, okay, okay, I get it. All right, cool. Let's see. Um, Second wind sounds helpful. Um, Ancient memory sounds pretty cool. So let's take ancient memories. Uh, Sorry, my Adobe is being really frustrating. It's like, do you want to make this the new default? And I'm like, yes, it's fine, just do it. And then it's like, yeah, but what if we made you do a bunch of stuff? Um,
Right. So when you've got that done, go ahead and select the ancient memories, and then go to your second sheet of your character sheet.
mhm.
And basically, what you're going to do is you gain 4 lore skills, right? So you're going to gain a +10 to 4 additional lore skills.
Dope.
And that's important in the sense that if you look at the fact that when you choose your skills, your focus gives you a bonus into your skills. So lore skills are an intelligence based or knowledge based focus. So if you chose those as a knowledge focused character, you would gain +10 to those. Here, that basically overlaps that and says, listen, because you've got these ancient memories, you get to choose 4 additional lore skills that basically are your focus skills, and you gain a
Cool.
+10 to them. So they're a little bit better. And then what else do you want to choose?
And I will pick Spirit Guide. That sounds dope.
Spirit Guide, brilliant. So we'll just grab that. And again, I don't know if you can see my screen on Twitch, but I'm just making a list of these as we go down.
Mhm.
So once per day, you can ask your guide for advice on any topic, granting you a +1 success on any skill check per 3 ranks. And ooh, that's even better. right? So this is why Balian are so awesome. Or one of the reasons why is because there is a mechanic in our game system that's literally called heroic luck.
Mm-hmm.
You get to, as a Balian, if you fail a roll, you may decide once per day to re-roll that failed check without spending heroic luck.
Oh, wow.
Right? Where everybody else would have to spend at least one heroic luck to gain a re-roll. You don't have to do it once per day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is awesome. And then
Yeah,
also
cool.
you gain a +1 success for every 3 ranks you have on any skill check. So it's kind of like your spirit's like, hey, yeah, you should do it this way. Like, okay, I got it. And we are essentially done with that portion. Any questions
Sweet.
there?
No, not yet. This is awesome.
All right, now we're going to go to page 53, where we get to roll some dice.
Nice. I love rolling dice.
And so what you're going to need 4d10, since we're going to be using the standard generation method.
4d10. Which page was that? We're on?
Page 53.
53. Yep, that's page 98. It's too far. And you said 4d10.
4d10.
Got a 10 here. Let's see. Ba-ba-ba. 10, 10, d10. All right, 4d10.
Right, so this is what we're going to do. Is you're going to roll these 8 times in a combination, right? You're going to roll all 4 of them 8 times. You re-roll any ones and then discard the lowest. So you're going to end up with a total of 3d10 and add those together. And so on the attribute determination scratch sheet, I don't know if you have that up, but I do, so I can track it with you. Just tell us what you get, and then you get to place them wherever you want after you do that. Cool. So again, roll 4d10, re-roll any ones, and discard the lowest, and then discard the lowest.
Okay, so no ones, discard the lowest. That's going to be 10, 8, 6. So 24.
24. Awesome. All right, next.
That's a 1. Okay, discard the lowest is going to be 8, 7, 15, 20.
Right on. Next.
No ones, bless you. Take out the 4, so that's going to be 10, 15, another 20.
Brilliant. Next.
No ones, 10, 20. Take out the 4, 26.
26. All right.
No ones, take out the lowest. 10, 17, 21.
Okay.
No ones, take out the lowest. That's going to be 10, 25.
Wow. You're really well above average.
All right, no ones, take out the lowest is a 5. So 7, 5 is 12, plus 6 is 18.
Oh, I spoke too soon.
That's okay. Okay, so take out that. So that's going to be 19, 22.
22. All right, so now what you get to do is, since you're going to go with Rogue, some of the things that are really important to Rogue, right, are going to be things like your willpower, your agility, and your perception. Intelligence helps you with determining total number of skills that you start off with. If you plan on if you want to be like a caster at some point, you would definitely need to make sure you have a high stamina. And since you're a small creature, your stamina and strength and stamina are only going to start at a base of 40. And then everything else will go up pretty standardly. So let's go ahead and do this. So on your base size, go ahead and put 40 for your strength.
40.
40 for your stamina. No.
All right.
Your agility is going to be a base of 60.
60.
Your perception is going to be 60. And those are your physical attributes, right? Those are, if you were to break these down, there's physical and mental attributes. And then mental attributes, everybody starts off with the same. They're all 50.
Cool.
All right. Your dice roll, now you get to move your dice rolls wherever you want to. You can basically assign them wherever you want. Again, for rogues, agility, perception, willpower tends to be the big point, and then intelligence and stamina would be your next final two, and then strength and charisma.
Gotcha.
Charisma is very social based, so if you want to like do like a roguish bardish kind of like thing, definitely charisma and willpower, intelligence, and all that. But again, you can't make a wrong decision because you can adjust your character slightly every rank. Right, to get it to where you want it.
Cool. So I think I've got stuff pretty much where I want it. I've got a 24 in agility, a 26 perception, 25 wits, 21 intelligence. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and what about the other guys? The 220s?
Oh, yeah. So I've got a 20 strength, 20 stamina, 24 agility, 26 perception, 21 intelligence, 25 wits, 18 willpower, and 22 charisma.
Okay, brilliant.
That's some nice rolls.
They felt really good.
Yeah, they are very high rolls. They're very nice rolls. All right, so just to let you know, let's say that you want to be a caster, right? So your intelligence, your charisma, and your willpower have to at the end of this have to be at least 85 if you want to start off being able to cast at first rank. Otherwise, you can work up to it, but you have to kind of work up to it and stuff like that. But you got some good rolls there. All right, now you're going to do your species modifier. Now, going back to page 53, we've given you guys two options. You can either do what we categorize as the standard species modifiers that you get as just being that species, or if you want a little bit more flexibility in your character creation, you don't like the fact that it sounds like it's biocentric, you can assign 2d10, two 10s to any two attributes, one right, and a +5 to 1. I didn't say that
Okay,
right.
cool. I'll take the standard setup for the Balian.
All right.
So +10 to any two. So stamina, agility, wits, or willpower.
Right.
Let's definitely add +10 agility for the Balian, and then let's shore up our stamina with another 10.
All right. All right. Now we're almost done with the generation of our attributes. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn to page 54, in which we talk about focuses. Now this is as close to classes as we actually come because I decided technically that every class can be boiled down into 4 basic groups: combat, knowledge, social, and stealth. Right? Those are the basic 4 groups, and then everything else kind of branches out from there. You've decided to go with stealth focus. So on your focus modifiers, you get an additional, right off the bat, a +5 to your agility.
Nice.
So that goes up almost 100. Wow. And then you get to choose one additional modifier to either perception, strength, or charisma.
I will take perception.
All right. We are essentially done with those. Now, what we can do now is we can just grab those and move them to our character sheet on the first page in the correct order.
All right. And I'm taking the total attribute score at the end of that chart?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
You're fast. You're really
very
fast. Pretty perceptive, too. Intelligence isn't so bad.
That's probably the closest agility to mine.
Which yours is about 106, isn't it? 105?
Yeah, something like that.
That's epic.
He rolled really well. I think he got a 30 on one of them.
That's dope.
And charisma. Now, with the fillable character sheet, everything is kind of just moving in and settling itself in for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But we do have, if you have to roll this on with pen and pencil, we do have the attribute tables there for you. All right, not too bad. I mean, you got a high perception and high agility. That's really epic. Charisma's not too bad. Willpower's not too bad. Intelligence isn't too bad. But again, like I said, you're going to need to get those up to like 85 if you want to be a caster. Not necessarily you have to, but you can work up to there. And the abilities, there's a lot of abilities that give you a lot of power that you don't necessarily need to worry about magic. Like they give you a bunch of different stuff as you go up. And we are essentially done with the attribute determination table, so you can put that bad boy down. All right, we are essentially done with the attribute determination. Now we're going to do some cool things with your stealth focus. On page 55, just below table 4, there is 3 sections there, right? You have skill bonuses, bonus abilities, and additional bonuses. So,
Yes.
as a stealth character, you gain the following skills for free without needing to worry about it. You gain forgery, sleight of hand, stealth, or trapcraft. You gain 2 of those for free. Which one of those?
Sweet.
Which 4 of those? Which of those? 2 of those 4 do you want? Oh my god, I hate being sick. My brain just shuts down.
It's a full body experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take stealth and trapcraft.
All right. So what we'll do is those are going to be free, and stealth. So it starts off with a base of 40 plus your agility modifier, so it's going to be 49. Okay, that's going to be free, and then you took trapcraft.
Yep.
Which is going to be 40 plus your intelligence, so that's 44 base. That way we know when we come here, we know that those already be pre-filled and those are free, right?
Cool.
Next, you gain 2 abilities. Remember I said at the beginning, every character starts with 5 abilities, 2 from your species, 2 from your focus, and 1 that you choose. Which of these 2, which of these 8 do you want to have?
Let's see. Let's take
And if you don't know what they are, let me know, and we will reach out and see if I can see how well I'm starting to know my own book.
Yeah. I like how Expert Leaper sounds dope.
Expert Leaper, all right. It basically it gives you additional bonuses to the total number of feet that you can leap.
Dope. And arboreal movement, does that let me like move around in like trees and stuff?
Trees, really small ledges. If you've ever played Assassin's Creed,
yeah,
that's essentially what you're doing there. Is you're able
Okay.
to move along very thin, very small things.
I'll take arboreal movement.
Also, just let you know there are some other good things here. So before you do that, so Kuja Rajia allows you to actually have these different things that you can do different powers. One is actually giving yourself your own natural armor, which is like a base of 5 for every 25 you have in willpower. Shadowcraft and shadow data will actually allow you to do different things with shadow, and I think it's shadow data that actually Serbi's character can actually jump into the shadow of another creature, which is, as long as there's enough shadow for him to actually do it, like large creatures, they can actually jump into that shadow from one shadow to another shadow.
Oh, that's dope.
Corner of your eye means that you always catch things off to the side. Deft walk literally allows you to walk along ceilings and walls for a certain amount of time.
That's cool.
And Taki movement gives you it has a whole bunch of different levels in it. Its first one, I believe, actually allows you to set out an illusionary clone of yourself, and you get to move away from it, and people will attack that guy first.
That's cool.
Shadowcraft, right off the bat, allows me to give you a spell up to a PR4 rank as a natural ability, like a natural spell ability as well.
Oh, that's dope. These are awesome.
Misdirection means it literally does, for all intents and purposes, you can misdirect people away from you if they're attacking you. Open Says Me allows you to actually tap on a lock that's locked, and it, depending on how well you do it, it will automatically open for you, whether you have the key or not.
That's cool.
Expert Grappler is just what it is. Expert Leaper is exactly what it is. Escape means that anytime you're tied up, you can almost, and depending on the way you're tied up or where you're handcuffed, you can just escape.
That sounds very helpful.
So there's a lot of different things here that you can choose. So I just want to give you that information.
Let's scrap arboreal movement for escape, because that just sounds objectively helpful.
Okay, so arboreal movement. Okay. And expert leaper.
Yeah, so escape and expert leaper.
Oh, escape. Okay, escape.
Yeah.
But remember, that's very specific situational, right? That
but that's okay. When those situations come up, it'll be dope.
In addition, you can, when you get to choose your first ability, you can choose arboreal movement from stealth if you so like it as well.
Oh, cool.
And so we are now moving to your additional bonuses. So you're going to start off with an additional 10 fatigue, which is helpful. I don't know if you follow the Plot Doctor and Out of Print GM.
Yeah.
But their Thursday game, literally, out of print GM's character, a Mannix named Ziggy, literally passed out because he wanted to use an ability because he was new and he got it, and then he didn't take into consideration that if you get to 0 fatigue, you instantly pass out, and he was attacked by an undead, which drained him of his fatigue, and he passed out. So he was out for like an hour.
Oh no.
And they were fighting this undead thing, so they ran with him. And additionally, do you want me to roll it, or do you want to roll it? You gain 2d10 times 20 in additional silver pieces. You know,
I'll
because
roll
you're a
it.
rogue.
Oh, that's one rogue die gone. Oh, that's a 1 and a 9. So 10 times 20.
So it's 180.
Yeah.
Like 10 times 20? 200, sorry. So 200 extra silver pieces.
Sweet.
And we are essentially done with that. Now we're going to get into the real crunchy part. This is the part of the peanut butter sandwich, which is smooth, and then you add this really nice layer of strawberry jam that's got the crunch of the,
Ooh,
enough of a crunch that it's like, oh, it's satisfying without it being like peanuts. Like, I got something jammed in my teeth. All right, so as a small creature, your base health, and this is going to be predominantly on the top, in the front page, is a max of 20 plus your stamina modifier and your willpower modifier. So it is going to be 27. And again, do not be a frontline fighter because you will get killed.
Noted.
Right? Some weapons can do with one hit can do 8 points of damage, and they get 4 hits on you. That's enough to kill you.
Yeah.
Little story. I used to have another species called, and it's actually in the Tolari's Beastry, that was actually Sprite Ken, and I had them as playable characters. You could fly. And everybody decided that they were going to make warriors because they could fly, and that means they could be up front, and they all died. They died every single time. I'm like, I'm going to take that out of the player's hands then, because you guys do not understand what you're doing there. And they get all mad. I'm like, you're not a frontline fighter. You're flying. That's and funny. You're small. You should be a caster away from things.
Right.
All right, so your fatigue points are literally your stamina score plus your willpower score. Not your score, but your modifier. So it's 73 plus your 20, so you have a total fatigue of 93. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, now we're going to get into your defenses. There are 4 types of defenses that we have. The one that you're going to use predominantly is going to be defense, but magical, divine, and Jinhu all come into consideration. Of the 4 defenses, only physical defense actually gets reduced if your health goes down. Right? The more health you lose, the easier you are to hit. Right? You're wounded. So your physical defense is going to be 30 plus your agility and your perception modifier. So that's going to be a total of 47.
Nice.
That's an incredibly awesome one for first starting. Magical defense is going to be 30 plus your stamina, intelligence and stamina modifier. So that's going to be 38. Not 385. Divine is going to be 30 plus wits and charisma modifier. So 39. And finally, your Jinhu is going to be 30 plus will plus intelligence modifier. So that's going to be 37.
Nice.
So Jinhu, are you an anime watcher? Do you watch anime?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Naruto or Naruto?
I did not. I was a deep Dragon Ball kid growing up. I didn't watch Naruto.
Okay, so Naruto has these hand symbols that they use, and that's basically what Jinhu does. So each of the magics pull on something. Like our magic spell magic is arcane formulas, so you need spell books to be able to read from these things. And spell books can be anything. They can be on your cloak, they can be on your staff, just someplace where it's written down. Divine pulls upon obviously the divine around you. There are atheistic points of view where you can still use your divine knowledge to pull down upon things from the omniverse as a general. And then Jinhu is a source of energy that comes from within. It's all based off of your willpower and you generating the energy and things like that. Cool. So that's where that comes from. All right, we are now moving to our movement. You are a small creature.
I am.
And your base is 10. And actually, you know what? I need to actually make that easier. I need to actually have that automatically generate based off of your small size. See? Look.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking now. Look out. Heroic Luck, probably the most important mechanic in the entire game. Heroic Luck. Heroic Luck allows you to do a lot of cool things. For 1 Heroic Luck, you can re-roll missed rolls. 2 Heroic Luck, you can avoid rolling a critical. 3 heroic luck, you can, do some cool things. 4 heroic luck, you can completely ignore an attack, especially when the attack is like 400 health points in one
Yeah.
attack. You're like, I'm going to completely ignore it. If you have 10 and you die, you can do it's either self-resurrection or you survived but we don't know how kind of thing.
Mhm.
You literally come back to life with 1 health, 1 fatigue, and you're really beaten, but you survived the encounter. And that's only
That's cool.
once. That's only once per campaign, so you only get one
Mhm.
shot at it. And it allows, and then there's a whole bunch of other things in between. There's you can spend her like I think 9 heroic luck to get a plus 100 to any one skill check, should you need it. And heroic luck you earn throughout the game as you go.
Sweet.
So yours is going to be a base of 4 because it's your charisma.
Sweet.
And anytime you roll an Ot 1 through Ot 5, which is because we're a roll under system, you automatically gain 1 heroic luck. You can purchase 3 heroic luck each rank if you so like. So there's different ways to get it and gain it and keep it and stuff like that. So
Cool.
it's always coming back. Now you have your choice on your starting ages, your height, and your weight. You can either randomly roll it or go with the average.
Let's see. That's a good question. Let's roll for age. I don't know how long Balians typically live for.
So it's on page 58, and they have a maximum age of about 75.
Okay. Cool. So base age is 15, age modifier, a D10 minus 3. So let's roll a D10. Where are you? Minus, so that's going to be 2. So D10 minus 3 is going to be plus 2. So 17.
So you're 17. And that's going to be on your second page for your
Gotcha.
age at the top, personal information. So you're 17.
Boom. Age.
And now your height and weight. You can either, like I said, it's up to you. If you want to roll, because people like to roll, you can do the average.
I like to roll.
Okay.
So 3 foot base, D10 plus 2. I'm small. So I'm 3'3".
You rolled a 1? Wow.
I did roll a 1.
You are small, 3'3". Itty bitty.
And then base weight 30.
And why don't you come out looking like a chonk? Which would be cool.
Just a little roly poly.
Little roly poly. That's cool.
That'd be really cute. Let's see. So I'm just gonna let's go. 1, 2, 3. 3, 10, 13.
So 43 pounds?
46 pounds.
46 pounds. Hey, you're about average actually.
Yeah.
If you look at it, so Balian, yeah, you're just about average. It's right down the middle, 15 extra pounds.
Sweet.
All right. We are done with that. Vision. There's only one creature, one species that's humanoid species that has the best, and that's the Mannix. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me.
Go for it. Bless you.
Like I said, I know it's not an infection, so it's all good. You, however, are a Balian, so you have what's called normal sight, and it's already selected for you. Your encumbrance, if you are in the second sheet, you'll notice that you have a maximum severe lift or severe encumbrance of 300 pounds. Your maximum lift is 300 pounds. For 3'3", basically you're able to lift 100 pounds per every foot you have. However, everybody's like, oh, well, that's unrealistic. Well, not necessarily, because I know personally, I'm 6 foot, I'm 250 pounds. I can jerk clean just about 400 pounds, right?
Wow,
just
that's
boom,
awesome.
right? But I can't hold it. I can't hold it for very long. And I know that if I get up, I can hold a lot of weight, right? So my strength score is fairly high. And so if you were to actually try to pick up 300 pounds, you would have to roll against your strength check.
Right.
Which is, so you would literally, to be able to do this, let me just show this for people. On the calculator, you have 300, divide that by 60. You would need at least 5 successes.
Wow.
So you would have to roll a critical to actually pick that up. 300 pounds. But it also says that until you reach light and weight, you don't have to worry about encumbrance issues.
Okay, cool.
Right? And we are essentially done with that. Now, we come to the hard part.
Okay.
Your initiative, I skip over initiative a lot, especially if you're using the the generated one. You have an initiative of 27, which is incredible. And so when we play, I'll call, or the GM would call for an initiative. You'd roll a D10 and add it to that 27, so you could go even faster.
Sweet.
And things like that. Here comes the hard parts. Then, and I'm sure you know who Mootley is.
Yeah.
We have termed Mootley moments because Mootley rolled up a character, and when she got into philosophies and backgrounds, it took her about an hour and a half to get through this because she really delved into who her character was. This is where we start to delve into who your character really is.
Okay.
In philosophy, because she went back and forth. She's like, oh, I could be good. Oh, but neutral. Neutral allows me to do more things. Oh, but what if I was evil? I don't want to be evil. And she kept going back and forth, having this mental discussion. I'm just sitting here watching her, and it was interesting to see her torture herself over what she should do. So in the world of Kralis, in the Telarius gaming system, we don't have an alignment in the same sense that Dungeons & Dragons has alignment. We have 3 basic philosophies. You have good, neutral, and evil. 98% of the world population is neutral. Even the bad guys are more neutral, right? They do a lot of evil stuff, but they're more neutral. You can be good and you can be evil. You can be blue and you can be purple if you like. Come on, at least acknowledge that.
I'm laughing. That is funny.
That took a second. But if you choose to be good or you choose to be evil, you have to maintain a philosophy point. Total number of philosophy points based off of 3 times your rank, right?
Okay.
If you get 5 philosophy points per rank, you actually become devoted and you gain bonuses to work against evil or good creatures. What do you want to do?
Cool. Well, I think Urzel Chakla, this little speedy boy, the Balians seem like fairly spiritual and good-hearted creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think if I'm just a first rank little stealthy boy, I'm probably going to go with good and then see where he goes from there.
Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 basic philosophy points so that way you maintain good. So when we play and you actually get to second rank, you're going to need to have at least 6 philosophy points. And that means you're going to have to do some good things.
Okay,
right?
that sounds fair.
And you can lose, and it doesn't matter. You in the middle of your rank, you could lose philosophy points and kind of shift towards neutral. But if you, as long as you end up before the end of the rank for yourself at positive, you're good. But you can shift into neutral. And then you have to work back.
I think that's cool.
And then you have to work back to get back to your philosophy.
Oh, kitty!
Oh, look at that fat belly.
Look at his tummy.
Look at that fat belly. He's like, Dad, that's not fun. I'm not enjoying this. I'm out of here. All right, so now you're going to choose your aspects and motivations. These are really what really pulls you together in who your character is. So we're on page 62. And this is a very personal choice for yourself. You have to decide what does Urzel, from his aspects and motivations, who is he at his core?
That's a good question. Let's see. Let's take a look at these. Ambitious, apprehensive, boldness, charming, hardline, kindness, lighthearted, loyalty, selfish, unflinching.
While you look that over, I will be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
All right, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I am back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So I think I'm going to go with the lighthearted aspect with a obscure knowledge motivation.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. All right, so on your second page, go ahead for your aspects, go ahead and pick lighthearted. And I think obscure knowledge is the base one that it starts off with.
Yes.
And so with that, with obscure knowledge, you actually gain a +5 to your reputation. And all characters start off with a certain amount of reputation. You're going to start off with a base of 15. Now, reputation is an interesting mechanic because it never fails.
Okay.
It fails, but not in a failure. So like if someone rolls against you and they fail, they may go, you know what? I think I recognize you, but aren't you the giant slayer? And you're like, what giants? Yeah, I've heard about you. You're this really fast dude who actually slays giants, right? And you'd be like, does it get me free beer? Yes, it does. Oh, then yes, I am, right? So
I'm that guy.
Right. So in the Game Master's Guide, what we do is we've said there's really no failing on the reputation. I mean, there's a hard fail. Like if you leave like really far out and they critically fail, like in 96 through 100, they look at you and go, "What do you want? I have no idea who you are. You're not that important." But if they fail, it could fail forward and make the story even more interesting, right? On reputation.
Sweet.
And you can also use your own reputation. Like, you know what? I'm going to go into this tavern and, I want to use my reputation, see if maybe I can get some free food. Roll against it.
Nice.
So it's kind of it's a role-playing mechanic that actually allows you to do role-playing and back and forth, stuff like that. So
That's
hopefully
awesome.
it works.
I love that.
All right, next. There are 20 of these bad boys. Backgrounds.
All right. I was thinking a little bit about this. And I think okay, I'm totally going to be a monk. My background is absolutely going to be a monk.
Why?
I like that. I like the idea of this little ferret person, like growing up in this monastery, like training his body and like becoming this really like swift character who's like very stealthy and like just mastering his body, and then going out in the world being this lighthearted sort of traveling monk in search for obscure knowledge. And it seems like a good little hook for this character to be out and about.
Okay, fantastic. So
I'm digging it.
We will definitely go with monk. All right, so in your background, go ahead and download, not download, go ahead and select
here we
monk. Monk. Now,
Cool.
and what we've done with all these backgrounds, we've given them at least 3 hooks on everything, so you can figure out, and then you can also make up your own hook. Maybe, you're like, I have no idea, but I want to play monk. It gives you some ideas, and then you can work with things. Now, there are associated skill points, skills and bonuses with your background. You get to choose 3 of these.
Sweet. All right. Let's take.
And so, just to let you know, so there would be lore history is 1, lore nature is 1, or lore religion is 1. So those are some additional ones in there.
Cool. I'm gonna take a plus to acrobatics using agility.
Okay. Obviously.
I'm gonna take plus on healing.
Okay. Now, herbalism is an interesting thing because it allows you to do a lot of cool things, include cook.
Oh, awesome! I'll take that one. Boom.
Now, of those 3, which one do you want it to be a super focus?
Acrobatics.
All right. So it gains an additional +10. So you're at a +20 there, just so we have that later. All right. And associated bonuses. You gain one of the following 3. Which of those 3 do you want?
I will use this to take plus 10 hit points, I think.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do physical defense?
Hit points, I think.
Hit points? All right. Brilliant.
Zoe, don't chew on plastic, please. Thank you.
But Dad, it's so awesome.
I'm just gonna take it away.
We had one cat that would always find the plastic bags and wouldn't eat it, just chew on it, like
just.
and who ate this bag, and it's got all these little marks on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so that is essentially it. You are done with your background. You are done with the core generation of your character. The last thing we need to do and worry about is what's called merit determination.
Cool.
And we'll come back to this one more time. So on the second page, there is a thing there. It's called species merit costs, campaign merit costs, and ability merit costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on this page, and basically, what is this? This is your personal experience table. meaning that you create your own experience table rank to rank, right?
Sweet.
So some people might have more merit than that they need. Some people might have less. And people ask, well, what if I don't like to do it that way? The GM's guide has 6 different ways on how to help characters gain new ranks. We have milestones. We have a lot of things, but this is our standard because I'm old school and I like to do it this way. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's more than just like it's more than just slaying creatures. Like if you play to your philosophy and your aspects and your motivations and all this other stuff, you'll gain merit points for that as well, and things like that. So your base species, since you are a Balian, is a base of 1200.
Sweet.
The campaign merit cost is going to be 400 because that's what we're going to do. And then the last one that we're going to worry about is your ability merit score, and we'll come back to that after we choose your last and final ability. But right now you have a total of 1600 that you need to get from first rank to second rank.
Cool.
Okay. And so now we are moving on to skills and abilities, page 73. This is where it kind of gets a little more difficult. Only in the sense that there's a lot of skills to choose from, and you want to make sure you have the best ones. So you're going to start off with your beginning number of skills of 6 plus your intelligence modifier. And in your case, it is 10. So 10 skills. You've already got 2 that are free, right? Which are the stealth and the trapcraft. And since you've actually started as a stealth character, you can choose 4 stealth skills that gain an additional plus 10 to, which are your focus skills, and that's important. That helps you make your character that much more distinct from everybody else.
Okay.
But before we do that, we're going to finish up the basic skills. So on the front page, bottom right hand corner, is a large gray box.
Yes.
All right. So your height, your jumping height is equal to half your height, which is 1'6" for you, plus 1 foot per 25 feet, so 25 strength, so that's 25, 50. You can jump 3'6" straight up.
Wow, that's awesome.
You can literally jump your height straight up. You can only leap forward 5 feet, but you can jump straight up.
That's cool.
3.5 feet. Lifting is going to just be your strength score, so that's going to be 60. I should actually just program that in there, but your swimming is going to be 1 foot for every 10 that you have, so that's going to be 7 feet.
Cool.
Your throwing is not necessarily an attack. It's like being able to throw something to somebody, right? Let's say that you're separated by a chasm of 25 feet, and you've got to throw a rope to the other side for the other person. How well do you throw that? I mean,
gotcha.
Some people yeah, if you've never seen anybody throw something, you would understand, because they throw weird things in weird ways, and you're like, that's not going to reach. Yeah, but I'm going to try it anyway. All right.
I definitely know what you mean.
Right? Like throwing ropes or any of that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
my cousin got married, and he had like a Viking style wedding, and they did knife throwing, and it was very funny to watch people try to throw knives.
Right?
Of very different methods. I'm like, I don't think it gets thrown like a softball. I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. We went to an axe throwing thing, and we watched we did it, and then we watched some other people, and they give you pretty good instructions on how to do it and those kind of things. And even when you were told how to do it, people weren't doing it correctly. And I'm like, man, I wonder how you throw a softball. Like, for example, Conor McGregor, you know who Conor McGregor is. He threw out the first pitch for the Cubs. Yeah. And you're supposed to, it's not hard to throw straight. At least I don't think it is. He threw it that direction. And I'm like, how do you do that? And he blamed, of course, his ankle. Well, my ankle, and I couldn't. I'm like, whatever, dude. Come on. You just can't throw, and that's okay. Just admit that
it's okay, dude. You're doing great at the fighting.
Right.
You don't need to be a good thrower.
Right. So your fear check is going to be your willpower score, so that's a 68.
All right.
Horror check is going to be your wits, which I believe is a 75. And then your poison check is your stamina score, which is 70. Yeah, so that's basically it. I probably should just... And the reason why I haven't made those automatic is because some species get a bonus to those. Like the Elwyn are completely immune to fear. They're just... That's cool. You mean that fire can kill me? All right.
Dope.
So that's that. So we are basically done with that. Now we're going to get to page 77. And like I said, there's a lot of skills here. You know, there's a lot more skills than there are in Dungeons and Dragons. Simply because the fact is that we aren't class based, right? So we want to give you as much options to do a lot of things. And I know that Dungeons and Dragons went more towards using ability scores as things for that, but I don't know. I've for a D100 system that might be a little tough. I'm sure we could do it, but I'm old school and I like lists.
Yeah, if you like lists and lots of skills, this is
lists. Awesome. And the thing is, a lot of people, they're like, you know, they get into this and like, oh, there's so many skills, but you only choose so many, right?
That's true.
You know, and then we do have skills that are trained that you can never take unless you except on ranks, and then you get trained in them. But everybody can try any skill that's not trained at a base of what's called a non-trained skill check.
Cool.
And so you can try it. You're not going to be as good as the guy sitting next to you who knows what he's doing, but yeah, go for it.
Right.
So you are a stealth-focused person. So down at the bottom page of 77, stealth skills. You have, those are the basic skills for what we consider stealth skills. You can pick from any of the skills, right? But the ones that you pick from stealth, 4 of those are considered focus skills, and you get a +10 to those.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's do evade as a focus.
Now, evade is not dodge. Evade is literally like you're being chased and you're going to evade somebody in the city or in the forest and those kind of things. Is that going to be are you going to take that as a focus?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay.
And open locks is always helpful.
So 49. So it's going to be a total of 59 for your evade. Open locks, is that going to be a focus skill for you as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be 40, 58. And you can still focus on your stealth and your trapcraft over there as focus skills as well. And that would be...
Oh, yeah. Then yeah, I'll definitely focus in again on stealth and...
trapcraft?
Yeah.
And so that's 59 and 54 for those. There is an ability that allows you to actually lay down, if you got another skill, automatic traps is like you're literally running through something. You can lay down a trap, almost like they're called instant traps, and you can lay it down, and you need your trapcraft score to be able to do that. So there's that ability that allows you to do that. All right, so now you've got your focuses out of the way. So you've got 8 more skills to choose from. You will need, if you want to wield a weapon, you're going to need to take weapon craft, and it's going to be an agility based. And we divide our weapons into 3 categories: strength based, which are the heavy, hard hitting weapons; agility, which are the finesse weapons; and then perception, which are the missile weapons.
Sweet. I think I'll definitely take martial arts.
Yes, I like that.
And yeah, I'll take weapon craft.
Okay, and we don't know what that's going to be yet, so we'll just put a square in there of 49.
Yeah.
And things like that. All right. So you're down to 6 skills.
All right. So let's look at some of these general skills.
So some of the things you don't want to forget, right? You've got a bunch of +10s and +20s in these. So you've got acrobatics, alertness, climb, healing, and herbalism, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills right there.
So if I put points in them, then I add my abilities on top of the +10.
Right. So like for acrobatics, let's say you take acrobatics, right, as a skill, and I believe, you would be able to. It would be 69 for acrobatics if you took that.
Well, I can't say no to that.
Mootley has challenged me to go through all my videos and find out where anybody is, and we've ever put a 69 for people to just put a montage of all that together of like, oh, 69. And I'm like, I'll try it. It's going to take forever though. I should just clip them out. And things like that.
Let's do that. I'm going to put 1 into alertness.
Okay, so that's going to be 68.
Let's put what's my wits at? 75. Yeah, so I'll take animal handling.
So that's going to be 45.
Now,
as a Balian, you gain a +10 to your climb skill as well.
Oh,
because
cool.
you got claws.
Dope.
Do you want to add? Do you want to take that as
yeah,
a skill?
let's put more into that.
All right, so that's going to be 59. And then don't forget your healing and herbalism.
Oh yeah, let's do another one into healing. Let's do both healing and herbalism.
All right, so that takes care of your skills. You're at so both of those are going to be 54 each.
Sweet.
And there you go. Your skills are done.
Nice.
And again, you can try a lot of these that are, as long as they're not trained, they're good.
Right.
And now you also gain 3 additional lore skills for free.
Cool.
Because of something.
I think it was the Balian
spirit
thing.
guide. It's a spirit guide.
Yeah.
So just so you have a better idea, on page 85 are the standard core lore skills.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
85 to 86.
Okay, cool. Let's take divine. Let's take nature, and let's take monsters.
Okay, I missed the second one. What was the second one?
Nature.
Okay. And nature. You gain actually 1 more of those.
Oh, cool. Then let's take omniverse.
All right, so we'll go over here and we'll put lore, omniverse in our extra slots over there. We'll be using your intelligence, and it is going to be a 54 as well because you gain a +10 to all of those. So might as well take them. Okay. And now we are to the coming to the end. I can see the light. Just so that you know, there are 302 abilities.
Wow.
But we've done a lot of different things for you. So on page 94, if you want to go there real quick, is the beginning of what we call the Master Ability List Index. Now, this is mostly predominantly for people like me who can't remember the name exactly, but we need to know. And this will tell us what the page that they're on and what focus type they are. And allows us to do that. Now, for you, I believe it's, let's say 125. Nope, I was short by a little bit. Page 137.
137. Okay. I'm seeing a bunch of social abilities.
No, it should be 137.
Oh, okay. When I typed it into the thing, it took me to like page 126 of the actual page.
Yeah, it should be page 137.
Gotcha. 138.
That's the basic start of it. But on page 139 is the list of the stealth abilities.
Aha, here we go. Cool. Let's see. These are cool. Okay, there are prerequisites, so I just gotta keep an eye on those. Let's see. Perception. I'm gonna take Bright Eye. Bright Eye looks cool because then later I can take Perfect Sight, which is awesome. Seeing invisible stuff is always dope.
Always dope. Before you decide to do that, and while that is dope, I want to let you take a look at. I want you to look at. Like I said, so there's a bunch of abilities that start off with using Shadowcraft and Shadow Data. Like Shadow Data allows you to engulfs yourself in a aura shadow. It gives you bunches of bonuses there. Wily Rogue is another one. I just want you to be sure that that's the one you want to start off with, which you can't. I'm not saying anything less.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
All right,
I like. Yeah.
All right, so the last one is going to be your character is Bright Eye. All right, so what we do here is just so you have the information. So Bright Eye basically allows you to see in total darkness and blinding light to 100 feet. So I will go ahead and grab that. Put that in the Bright Eye section. Makes it easy. And then, and you can see up to see through any object up to 10 feet during the use, which is awesome. And I think Sturby actually took that for his Habatu, so he could actually literally see through chests.
That's awesome.
And then second, you can see 360 degrees around you in normal vision.
That's awesome.
And they can all be used 3 times per day for 1 turn per willpower modifier.
Sweet.
So they're
See all those little traps inside the chest.
well, he sees that, he says that, but it specifically says that you can see as long as it's non-metal. So
right.
Most traps are going to be metal. You'll see this large metal contraption. You're like, I think that's a trap. It could be a lock though. So it's 3 times per day for one turn per willpower. So it's 3x day for 1 turn per will. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at escape. We are essentially done with your character, DM.
I'm excited about him.
All we have to do is pick your equipment in just a second. But let's go ahead and get over to Expert Leaper and Escape. Those, I think Escape is it's right down the road here. No, Escape is a general ability, but Expert Leaper is here, and you're gonna start off with the heroic level.
Cool.
It's on page 141 if you want to take a look at that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, it's down in the inventory.
No worries. Basically, increases your natural leaping and jumping distances by plus 10 feet. So you're 3 foot. You can now leap. You can jump 13 feet. Holy crud. And you can leap 15 feet. Oh, it's not letting you do. See, this is the reason why. So I've got to actually adjust that. So you're gonna have to figure that out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust that. Dang it. So yeah, it's 15 feet. You can leap 15 feet and jump straight up 13 feet. Hello, Spider-Man.
Spider Ferret.
Hey, Spider Ferret. All right. To do that over here now on escape. Undo. Let me copy this, please. Exit it out and paste it there. There we go. And then escape is going to be in general abilities real quick. Let's just go ahead and get that information for you real quick.
Sure.
General abilities. And there's a lot of things in here that once you get into the game and you start really looking, there are options upon options that build upon other options that just are insane.
It seems to be that way. I'm seeing a pattern of just like you can keep building on stuff and have really cool combos, really unique combos.
Really unique combos, right? And that's what differentiates every character. Even right off the first rank, you could have 5 Balian, and every single one of them, while they are Balian and stuff like that, will be unique in themselves, right?
Yeah.
And they can do different things. It's not like you start off, everybody's this. It's it's interesting. I'm gonna put page 153 here because if you go to page 153, DM girl, you'll notice that there's a lot of information in there, and there's a lot of stuff in there that you would just have to refer to, right? And again, it's one of those things that it's very specific, very situational that you're not gonna refer to a lot. It's gonna be so we're being tied up and put in jail. Okay, cool. You know.
Yeah, I'll just be chill. It's fine, guys. I'm gonna get out.
I got it. Don't worry about it. Just let him do it. And that is essentially the end of your character creation for skills, abilities, and attributes. Now we get to the other crunchy part, which is picking picking your equipment.
Yeah.
Which begins on page 161. Now, what we did here is we gave you get a base amount of money to spend at first rank, and it's based off of your background. You chose monk, which is one of the poorest ones. So you're going to start off with 450 silver pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the Balian bonus of 20. So you're going to start off with 420. Plus the 200, so you've got 620.
You just make it 650.
No, I'm not gonna make it 6.
I think it'd be 670.
No, is it 670?
Because I had 400.
Yeah, no, you're right.
and then
See.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, brain, not work.
You have a head cold.
I'm barely concentrating here. And Bright Eye. One last thing we need to do for Bright Eye, and I'll give that to you. Just give me a second. Let me look it up. Bright Eye has a merit cost of 900. So on the above where it says ability for merit cost, put 900 in there, and now you've got 2,500 merit that you would need to acquire to get from first rank to second rank.
Cool.
The only things that'll ever change, campaign will always go up by 400 per rank, and this ability cost can range anywhere from 250 to 2,000, depending on what you're doing, what you're choosing. So the more powerful you are, the more merit it takes for you to
That makes sense.
Keep going, cool. Right? That's essentially what the D&D table does, except it keeps everybody on the same level. Yeah. Everybody needs so much to get there, so gives a little bit more.
Did you say his is 2,500?
Yeah, 2,500.
Lucky man.
What's yours?
2,950.
He took a really expensive ability. All right, so as a martial artist, if you're going to be using martial arts, you cannot wear armor.
Cool. Makes my life easier.
So you can totally skip over that. I don't think there's a non-requirement or restriction for using a shield. So if you want to use a shield, you could use a shield if you liked.
I think considering how fast and I think mobile Urzel is, I'll probably turn the shield down and probably just go for speed and weapons and use speed as my defense.
Right. So page 168 is the beginning.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I'm old school and I like tables, man.
Yeah.
Tables just make things easier. They just make them easier, in my opinion. These 2 pages are the list of the total core weapons that we have.
Cool. Let's see here. Oh man. Okay, so there's the cost, and
now be particular attention to the weapon type. You'll see that they're perception, AGI, or strength or agility. So you took weaponcraft agility. So those are going to be all your basic fast weapons, right?
Cool.
If you need them.
What's a Kruzix and what's a Kanal?
No, so the difference in the daggers.
Yeah.
Let me get to that weapon table. Clubs. So a Kanal are a pair of small steel or iron weapons similar to tridents, but have shorter outer spikes.
Cool.
They're like sai for all intents and purposes.
Oh, okay.
And then your Kurix is a dagger that is used to designed for the purpose of punching through armor. It's kind of like an ice pick like dagger.
That's cool. What do I want?
Yeah, Kruzix are interesting because they actually, if you'll notice along that line of Kruzix, it has an A15, B15, and D10. A15 means that when you hit somebody, you ignore 15 points of their armor and deal 15 points directly to them. So if they have an armor absorption of 16, you deal 15 points damage to them, and then whatever, and then they lose 1 point of damage. 1 point is one of them, and then they bleed for 5 points per turn. And if you're using that weapon, you gain a plus 10 to your physical defense.
That sounds awesome.
Now, as a
Uh,
martial artist, you can use your martial arts score or your physical defense as your defense against
oh, cool.
attacks.
What's a three-piece rod do?
So a three-piece rod is a large weapon.
Mhm.
It is essentially, imagine it's a sectional staff. I don't know if you've ever seen those before.
I don't think so.
Okay, so basically what it is you'll get a staff that's about 3.5 to 4 feet long here. There's about a 6-inch chain, 6 to 8 inch chain in between. Some as little as 4 between, and then another 3 to 4 foot long staff on either side. So it's a three-dimensional. It's a three separate rods.
That's cool.
Three-piece rod. It's also a two-handed weapon and cannot be used in certain areas because of the fact
Yeah,
of the
seems
amount
like
of
it would
space
be.
that you need. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it would be quite difficult to use. Um, I like the idea of you having these psi weapons, these like parrying daggers. That sounds cool. The canal.
Yeah, so the canal, the Kurziks and the canal are well, the dagger, the canal, the Kurziks, and the parrying dagger all give you a bonus of physical defensive D10 if you're using them.
Sweet. So let's spend 50 silver pieces on 2 canal.
All right, so on your character sheet on the first page, go to your weapon craft agility and let's put canal there, and then your weapon type is canal, and we know that you have 2 of those. So we'll just parentheses 2. Your total skill is going to be 49. Your base damage, I believe, is 3.
It was 49 for total skill.
Yeah, the canal. So its base damage is 2. It's not a lot
Cool.
of not a lot of damage.
That's okay.
Your bonus damage is going to be based off of your strength. Now, if you actually take a special ability called Death Strike, you could actually use your agility modifiers bonus damage at some point. Strike
Oh, cool.
range is not going to have any bonuses to that because it's a close-up weapon, and it has a standard. Does the crit go up? Yeah, so your crit normally is Op 1 through Op 5, but for this weapon, it's an Op 1 through 10. So if you roll a 9, you critically hit somebody.
Nice.
And then the special notes is it's a D10. So your modifier for your down here at your physical defense while you're using that weapon is going to be a plus 10 while you're using it. So it's either going to be 47 or 57.
Sweet. And then just so that I have some variety, I should probably not rely just on those little daggers. So let's do let's do a cutlass. That sounds awesome. Can monks use cutlasses?
We do not restrict you for what you can and cannot
Okay.
do. The only thing is the restriction of armor for monks.
Gotcha.
So it's an agility based weapon, does a base of 3, and it ignores 10 armor.
Nice.
So it's a cutlass. However, because you're not trained in cutlass and swords, it's going to be a base of 39 instead of 49.
Sure.
Does a base of 3, bonus damage of 2, 0, and its crit range. Did it go up? It doesn't have a crit range, but it does ignore 10 points of armor. So it has an A10 there.
Nice. Cool. And then probably just grab like a sling for like a ranged weapon.
Okay. So again, it'll be untrained for the most part. So it's going to be a sling. It's going to be using your perception instead of your agility. So it's a sling and stone. So it has a base of 38. Does 3 points of damage. Okay. Does 2 points of damage plus the bullet. So base of damage 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, base damage 2, no damage bonus. And the strike range is its range, and I don't think it crits. I don't think it gets a bonus to your crit. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah. And that's it.
Cool.
Now, what we do though is sling bullets add damage to it. So if you want to get if you want to purchase sling bullets that are made out of metal, they add a bonus +1 damage to your attack, and gives it a ignore 5 armor and bleed 5.
Oh, sweet.
And
yeah, totally.
those are 10 silver pieces each.
Sure.
I don't think that's right. I think those need to be a little more. We'll go ahead and put they're only metal slugs, so we'll make them 10 silver pieces for 20.
Sure.
I'll adjust that. That's easy enough for me to do.
So I'll just spend 10 silver. I'll
Get
have 20 bullets.
slugs. Right, and those are the metal slugs. Right, so you're going to want to put those on your character sheet someplace. On your equipment, which is on page 3. And steel or metal sling, metal slugs. And you got 20 of them, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. I think for the rest of the equipment, I may hold on to my money and just see what there is to spend on stuff while we adventure.
So there is this. So on page 182 is the beginning of the adventure gear list.
Okay, here we go.
If you want to pick and nitpick in there and choose things, absolutely. That's why I like lists. Again, I like lists. However, if you want an adventuring pack, on page 189 is the start of the adventure packs. It gives you kind of a pack full of equipment.
Ooh, I do like that. Yeah, adventuring packs. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so let's do for 400 silver pieces, I'm gonna get an explorer's pack.
All right, and then what I would do is, again, since you've got Adobe Acrobat, is just go ahead and grab the whole thing, copy
and
it,
paste.
and paste it in your backpack section.
Perfect.
And boom, there you are.
Sweet.
And that, my friend, is your character, and we did it with what? Just under an hour and 30 minutes.
15 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. What a cool system.
Well, thank you.
That is probably the fastest character creation I've seen.
Well, we also didn't talk. If we just didn't talk, like if you were to do this on your own, I can create a first rank character in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The hardest part is the choosing of the motivations and aspects and backgrounds. I think that's the hard. That's where it slows down a little bit. But that's also where you're developing your character and what you can and cannot do. So you've seen this. You gave me some great help with making sure things are readable from a certain perspective. What do you think of the overall system from what you see from character? And I think character creation allows you to see a lot about a system and stuff. What do you think? And you're not gonna. You can be mean. We're friends. I love you anyways.
Yeah, well, I think it looks great. I think it looks so cool how there's so many different things for you to tap into. Like you have you have broad things to get people's attention so they know where to focus. Things like combat, stealth, social, magic, like those things people like recognize from even like a base level of game like familiarity. And then having all like the other noodly options sort of lets you hone in, and which lets, veteran gamers can sort of like see the things that jump out of them, be like, ooh, I generally like these things. And then with new players, there's like really no limit to what they could choose. And like I know for me, like I get super overwhelmed with lists, but there are certain things that just jump out at me that I'm like, you know what? And no matter what game I've ever played, we've been captured, and being able to escape sounds super helpful. So you have such a vast array of really cool abilities and skills that I think I could make a new character from here till Judgment Day, and each one would be totally different.
They will be, and there's a lot that's going to be similar. Like all Balians get X, right? But even within that, each Balian. So let's just take an example for a Balian. Besides the standard species features, a Balian, there are 8 options in there, and you get 2 of those. So that's essentially, I'm probably doing my math wrong. So right off the bat, you can have 16 different billion, I believe, and I'm probably doing my math wrong, that just right off the bat are different. 16 that are just
Yeah.
completely different. It's probably a little more, might be a little bit more. And then when you get to your focuses, right?
Mhm.
And then you take that, and now we're at whatever 16 times 4 is. That's a lot. That's
That's a lot.
64 different character options at that point. And then when you get to the skills, that helps differentiate. And then when you get to your final ability, that even differentiates. So by the time you're done, just one species, I think, can have almost 1,200 different options.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
But you don't even know it's that way until you start doing the math. And you're like, oh my, and I'm probably wrong on my math on that. I mean, Wes, one of my peer creators would be like, well, let's do this, and he would break it all down, and he'd probably correct me and tell me I'm wrong anyway, so I'm probably wrong.
Well, I won't tell anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, because no one likes to be wrong. Anyways, other than that, other than those, anything else, anything that you didn't like? What would you like to see more improved on if I'm able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of improvements, I mean, I don't know. I think, anytime that you can bold keywords so that people know what things are sort of like, what's an ability. I think the only thing that could have been, I was really glad that you were here to help walk me through it, because figuring out how the math translates directly from your abilities into, I imagine it's all written down. Like if I read the book, like, and actually like the instructions on how to calculate certain things, it would be more obvious. I'm just so glad you were here, because I was like, oh, I want this skill, and you'd be like, cool, your number is this, and I'm like, oh, I'm really glad you told me that.
Right.
But I'm also not a math person, so like that is definitely my weakness.
Right. And we tried to cut down as much of the math as possible. It is a math system. And I when I say that, I feel like people are like, well, it's math and I don't want to play it. Well, it's not as hard as it seems. There's actually more math in Dungeons and Dragons than there is in Legends of Kralis, in my opinion. And again, I'm biased. And like yesterday, I did a character with Dungeons and Dorks. Friday. And she thought she was gonna be overwhelmed. And when she got through it, she's like, "This is not that overwhelming." I'm like, "Well, one, you had me here, and two, the math kind of makes sense once they're all basic increments of things, and they're all the hardest part is when we do combat and things like that. So when you roll to hit somebody, let's say that you're using your canal to hit me, and you have to roll underneath your score first. So let's say you roll a 39, that's 2 successes because it's 39-49, so that gives you 2 successes. Then I get an active defense. I roll against my defense, and since we're first rank characters, I fail my defense. So you're going to hit me, and then you just take your 2 times your base damage. So you're doing 4 points of damage to me directly.
Cool.
That's it.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Now it can get much, there's times where
I imagine there are, very noodly situations.
like the out of plot doctor. Sorry, not out of plot. Out of print GM.
Yeah.
Scored a hit on one of the skeletal dogs that they were fighting, did 31 successes worth of damage because when you roll your critical determination dice, if it rolls a 10 on a 10-sided dice, it explodes. And it exploded 3 times for him.
That's awesome.
So he did, at that point if you're going against really big creatures, then I'm going to have you calculate, and even I have to pull out the calculator for that because that's a lot of damage. But at that point, if I look at, because I know what he's doing 5 points of damage, and right off the bat, that's going to be 150 points of damage. 3 times 5,
right?
15. That's 150. I'm like, how do you want to do this? And yes, I don't care if it's a critical roll thing, because I've been saying it long before they did.
Oh yeah.
So how do you want to do this? And they get into these awesome things, and it's just it explodes or all this and stuff. So yeah, there are those outlying. Really like, oh my god, I did how much damage, or how much damage did it do to me? So there are those kind of things. So I'm not gonna lie about that. It can get math heavy, but so can Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, totally.
Unless you're playing a totally narrative game, I think there's always going to be a little bit of math.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna
for
get
sure.
heavy.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But yeah, and so when you actually go through the book, it actually goes through every section on how to do this, how to multiply this, what you need to add here, and it's all referenced in there. And I had to do that because, again, we're coming from a new location, right? In a new thought process. No one's ever heard of it. It's different enough from Warhammer and GURPS, where they have a roll under system, that I need to be very specific. But I also don't want it to be overwhelmingly specific. So I've spent a lot of time with new players, such as yourself, trying to focus and get this down, because a lot of people end up going, okay, Dungeons and Dragons, you pick a class, you pick a race, and then you go.
Right.
Okay, great. We're not doing class because I think class sometimes can be restricting more than it is helpful, but it is restricting in the fact that you don't have the choice of 31 flavors.
Right.
Right. Where here you've got 31 flavors to choose from. And so we've had to build it that way. And so that's what we did. And for us, you pick a species, you pick your focus, you pick your skills and your ability, and you go.
Yeah, it's cool because I ended up with like almost no idea, and then as I picked skills and stuff, it just sort of helped mold into a full character.
Well, and it's interesting that you went with a good character. You're definitely not going to be an assassin. Well, you could be an assassin. You know, the Church of El is always looking for assassins to take out demons and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what could happen to Urzel? He could become an assassin and think if he's like a former monk, he could become like an Assassin's Creed assassin and
right,
killing some sort of
right.
evil forces.
And that's one of the discussions that we've always had is evil and good are a philosophical POV.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, just I might be evil to you, but what I'm doing is good. And that's the reason why I can argue, like, you can argue what Thanos was doing was good. It was.
I mean, I would argue always that Thanos was definitely a megalomaniac.
Oh,
especially in Endgame. In Endgame when he revealed, man, everything you said was bull crap. You just want any excuse to kill as many people as possible.
Well, right, but then there's that opposite side where you can say, well, you know what? He's not wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you could say, yeah, I mean, I think that was what made him so compelling.
Right, because he was a conflicted villain that you could see the good in him, and I think that's and I think that's what makes good villains, right? Is that if you can look at them from a perspective and go, you know what, he's not wrong, but he shouldn't be doing that, but he's not wrong, and it makes him a good compelling villain and stuff like that. Well, DM Guru, thank you so much. I know that you've got to go. Thank you for spending a couple of hours with me. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
No, I know
first
how it
world
is.
problems.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time and walking me through this. This is really exciting and a long time coming.
Well, it has been a long time coming. And I hope that you will, when we get ready to launch, we're launching our Kickstarter on February 1st of 2022, that you'll help me spread the gospel and word of legends.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to see it hit Kickstarter.
And just to let you know, I've actually got the Plot Doctor and Snark and Bourbon. I don't know if you know who those guys are.
Yeah.
They're actually writing adventures for Legends of Kralis as giveaways during the first, as we get ready to launch for it. So Snark and Bourbons, I got to finalize that today. Will probably be available on drive-through or on our website as a free download as another adventure to play along with the Quick Start guide. So
that's so cool. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited to see the Kickstarter and see what everybody's been making for it. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really been interesting to watch people go through it. So again, all right, I will let you get out of here. I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay healthy, and most importantly, I want you to stay legendary.
It shall be done.
All
you
right,
also stay healthy.
All right.